is right. The men running for the 3rd Congressional District, covering Kent, Ionia, and Berry counties for the congressional seat, cannot agree on a TV commercial that is airing right now.
24-Hour News 8's political reporter Rick Albin tracked down the players involved here. This is tantalizing.
Yeah, this is kind of how I think the rest of this election cycle is going to play out, not just in 3rd, but elsewhere. This whole dust-up started when Democrat Pat Miles aired a commercial. That commercial said Republican Justin Amash was part owner of a manufacturing company in China, and that is a charge that Amash strongly denies.
Justin co-owns a factory in China that manufactures the tools he sells in America.
That ad drew a quick and strongly worded response from Amash to Miles that said, in part, "My family and I have no ownership in any factory in China and never have," which prompted Miles to hold a media availability to counter that claim.
We relied on information provided by the company itself.
Apparently, a Google search turned up a website with the name of the company Miles claims Amash has ownership in. And it says that Dynamic Source International is a manufacturer. In fact, we did a search and found any number of sites that would appear to support that claim. But there's a problem with all of that, according to Amash, and that is where this whole dispute gets complicated. That this is a website for Dynamic Source International. It lists a lot of addresses and a lot of information on here, but you say this is not the company's website.
This is not the company's website. The company doesn't have a website, and we've explained this to Mr. Miles repeatedly.
It turns out that Amash does have partial ownership of a business in China, but he claims it is not a manufacturing company and that none of these are its website. In fact, he says it doesn't even have a website. And further, Amash is steadfast that the ad in question is false.
The fact that he continues to run the commercial after we've explained this to him and made it very clear indicates a problem with the way he's trying to run this campaign.
Earlier in the week, his Democratic opponent, Pat Miles, weighed in on that accusation.
So for them to claim that I'm making these facts up is ridiculous and outrageous.
Amash's family business, from which he also receives a small salary, does contract for tools to be made in China and elsewhere, then imports and sells in the United States. He is adamant, however, that Dynamic Source International, that's the company which he has ownership in, does not do manufacturing. A distinction, he says, renders the Miles ad false. Now, you obviously heard what Miles had to say about that. This race is likely to get more contentious in the next 32 days. This whole thing is about to heat up, not just in the 3rd, but watch a lot of these races.
Yep, you can tell.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, Rick.